All right, we are back. We have to make a few adjustments, but we're going to talk about the fear factor on tonight. We're going to overcome our fear, our challenges. So if this is you on tonight, if you missed the first part, I was just preparing or setting the foundation for what's to come, giving you a backdrop of what's going on and where this theme come from, because I know that I'm not the only one that is dealing with fear. They're dealing with limited faith. They're dealing with their faith is being questioned. Their faith is under fire. So we're going to talk about that now because it's our 9:15 time. So let me get myself situated really fast here. I can't get my Instagram family on because I have to jump from my laptop to my phone to be able to ensure this message is broadcasted. So, choosing faith over fear. I had to make a choice this morning. I had to make a choice to choose faith over fear. I could not allow all the chatter that my facts were speaking talk to me. I couldn't give ear to that. So I had to choose faith over fear. And so many ways that I had to choose faith over fear was reminding myself of the promises of God, what he has spoken, what he has, declared in my life. So reminding myself of who I was in Christ, reminding myself that I am, a woman full of potential, full of, an ambitious person, one that is full of purpose, and A, B, and C. So I have to talk to myself. One of the things the Word of God says to think on these things, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are lovely, and whatsoever things are a good report. So choosing faith over fear, it is a choice. It's a choice to allow your faith to rise right in the midst. You guys, my lighting and all those things has really cut off on me. So, but choosing faith is a choice. And we make that choice every second, every minute, every day, with every challenge we're faced with every situation we're hit with every negative that we are, thrown our way, or even though positive things. We have to choose to allow faith, and not just the faith of the world's faith, or I just believe, or if I apply faith, no, it's the faith that God gives to us. That faith that says, regardless of the outcome, I'm still going to pursue my purpose. I'm still going to align myself up with the will of God. So I have to choose faith. And the way I did that was surrounding myself with a lot of faith talk. I had to read information that was filled with faith to put my mind frame back in the right perspective. I had to, give an emotional check myself, how I'm feeling, to ensure that I am not allowing the, doubts and the negative emotions that want to come and tear down, but the way that it wanted to tear down, I had to channel that in a different way and use those emotions for my good, and to question myself and say, what's going on with you? Why are you feeling this way? What is your circumstances around you, external circumstances that is causing these internal, conflicts? And then I had to talk to myself. I had to realize who God said he was and what he said he was going to do in my life. And so one of the scriptures that I want to present on tonight is Philippians 4:6. I know we all may have heard this, but humor me, okay? Philippians 4:6, and it says, don't worry about anything, but in everything through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Don't worry about anything. That is a hard ask. That is a super hard ask, to not to worry about anything. Like, I have all of these different, weapons that are thrown at me, and you telling me not to worry about somebody pointing a gun in my face, not to worry about somebody running after me with a knife, not to worry about somebody throwing rocks or stones, or just using these as metaphors, or not to worry about bills that are due, not to worry about not having food in the house, not to worry about my car need to be paid, or this doctor bill that possibly can happen, and me not having insurance, and me not having the funds. You're telling me not to worry about anything, and everything around me is giving me the reason or my rights to worry about it, because, if I don't worry about it, then who will? If I don't, take time to think over it, or even, cry over them, or mourn over them, or grieve over them, or really analyze and think, who will? So we're talking about the worry to where it disturbs your peace. The worry that when it disturbs your faith, when it causes a confused way of thinking, a way of being, when it causes you to be double-minded, when it causes you to start to question who you are, question yourself, question God, question your ability to achieve and the purpose and all of these things. And it makes you become a double-minded person, right? It makes you become confused on the inside, and there's a tug of war that's going on, and you don't know what to believe. You don't know what to go after. You don't know where to stand, because there's a tug of war. Don't become worried. This is what worry does. This is what anxiousness does. It causes you to have a double mind, and a double-minded person is unstable in all of his ways. And if you're not an unstable person, then do not allow anxiousness or worry to come in and contradict you or make you hypocritical. Okay, don't allow it to come in to make you hypocritical. You know who you are. You know that I'm a person of a sound mind. I can make clear decisions. I'm a focused person. I'm a person that understand my direction and where I'm going, and I'm not at this tug of war. And so when you worry, when you have anxiety, when you become anxiousness, you become conflicted within yourself. I don't know why God has me going this way, but you become conflicted with yourself, and now your decisions are double. You want to progress, but you're making decisions that is not based on who you are in alignment with your values, with your missions, with your purpose, with your goals, with who you say you are. And so therefore, being worried it causes so much more damage, so much more hurtfulness, so much more negative impact. So he's telling us not to worry. Don't be anxious. Don't worry about anything, but in everything through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. So that first sentence, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about anything. Another says, don't be anxious, or be anxious for nothing. So when he's telling us that, it's more than just him saying, oh, I got it, I'm in control. And that is, it is so much, it's so true. But there are a lot of other, factors at play. There are a lot of other things that the enemy is doing in the midst of you worrying. Not only is he causing you to lose your faith and causing you to, become stressed and depressed, but he's playing on your character. When you become worried and anxious, your character changes. What you wouldn't do when you are stress-free, you begin to do when you're stressed. You begin to say some stuff when you're stressed. You begin to, behave in a manner when you're stressed, when you're worried. You begin to think about unlawful actions to take when you are worried, when you wouldn't have, taken a job that was underhanded, that wasn't, reputable. You begin to take things because you are anxious, you are worried, and now you got to make something happen. And because you have to make something happen, the enemy presents all types of, traps that looks good, but you don't see the trap until you in it. And then he presents all kinds of opportunities that sounds good until you're in it. So worry is a trap. Worry causes you to lose who you are, lose your character. It takes you into a place that you wouldn't normally go. It takes you into a mindset that you wouldn't normally be in. It takes you into an emotional space that you wouldn't normally be in. And so because you worry, it opens up the gateway and the flood, the doorway to even more attacks, to even more, things that you wouldn't normally, people that you normally wouldn't allow in your life, situations that are, beneath you or that you wouldn't normally put yourself in. So we're kind of looking into this thing of don't worry about anything. It's more than just your faith at play here. Oh, have faith in God. If I'm going to worry, don't pray. And if I'm going to pray, don't worry. If I'm lacking in faith, if my faith is low, that means I'm not trusting God. Let's go a little bit deeper than that. Let's go into some real meat of what's going on with your faith when you are worrying. it opens the door to these little nemesis, these little minions of the enemy to come in and begin to, plant seeds and plant tares and plant, ideas into your mind, and you grab a hold to that idea. When you weren't selling drugs, you begin to look at, hey, drug money sound a little good right now. When you weren't prostituting or becoming what you call them people, gigolo. Oh, Ben, this sounds a little good. I can make some extra change, Or when you weren't, cheating on your taxes or, lying on your clock in sheet or whatever the case may be. When you are worried, it causes you to act out of your character. It causes you to do things that you would normally do. And that's why a lot of people are in situations they are in now. And the people that know them, they're like, I never even in 1,000 years, never I would have thought that they would do something like that. This is what worrying does. It causes you to respond in a manner outside of your character. So we will not be responding in a manner outside of our character. That's why I said the first thing that we're going to be dealing with is choosing faith over fear. It is a choice. It is a choice for you to choose faith over fear and stand on it. Do not be double-minded. Don't be in conflict with yourself. Don't be at war with yourself. Don't be at war with something that's lesser than you. These facts, the bills are lesser than you. The no food or trying to figure out what job to take or lack of employment, whatever it is that is staring you in your face, wherever you are, you could be in the White House, you could be in the, penthouse, wherever you are finding yourself in place, because faith and fear has no respect of people. Fear has no respect. It doesn't matter your social status. It doesn't matter your economical status, because people who have a lot and they are, wealthy and rich, they have fear as well. That's why they have the security, teams and the security systems in their home and all those things, because they fear being robbed. They fear being, someone coming into their house and stealing things and taking things. That's why they have vaults and all these things to protect what they have. That's a form of, they say, protection and investing and all that. But at the same token, when you look on the opposite side, it's a form of fear. And so fear is a monster in itself, and it takes different forms. But we can choose to have faith over fear. And that's what we're going to be talking about on the rest